purchase. Welcome back to another episode of Eat This with Olivia O'Hare as your host. And standing right next to me is Laura Garrison. Laura Garrison is a news editor for The Beat, which is like the music.
Shameless plug.
The music and like performance stuff on campus. Super awesome. They got some good articles about women raise the purchase jazz standard.
I didn't write it, but it's a good article.
You edited it, right?
I sure did.
Ooh. Not only that, Laura is a bartender, a server, and a social media coordinator at a fondue restaurant. So that leads us to what we're making today. We are making spinach and artichoke fondue. We got some bread, some chips, some apples, some tomatoes, just for dippers in the fondue. So we're just gonna cut a few of those up. So Laura, how long have you been working on The Beat? Oh wait, I'm so sorry. I forgot to mention, Laura is my roommate. Okay.
Yeah, we live together. I've been writing for The Beat since my sophomore year. And I am halfway through my junior year right now, which is kind of scary.
So what articles have you written like for The Beat, like since you've been there? Because I'm assuming you haven't been an editor forever.
No, I was a general reporter and then I did senior reporting, and actually one of the first articles I did was a piece on Juno Diaz when he came to talk a purchase, which I'm sure you'll appreciate.
I do appreciate that.
And then the first article I ever wrote was an article about this performance called Cracked that the dancers did, and it was basically like a twist on the Nutcracker because they weren't doing the Nutcracker that year, and there was like really like sassy fairies. I'm pretty sure there was stripping involved. Like it was probably one of the best performances I've seen, and it was the first thing I got to write about.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like a really crazy show.
It was definitely worth the wait.
So I feel like that's enough bread, apples. Okay, so now we just need to chop some garlic, cut up the spinach, and cut up the artichokes. So how much garlic do you think you would need for this recipe?
Really just a pinch.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do like a tiny little clove. And do you want to cut up some of the spinach?
I can do that.
Okay, word. So like I said, Laura is a social media coordinator for the fondue restaurant she works at.
It's a really fancy term for I schedule posts on our Facebook page. But it'll sound good on a resume, I hope.
But, so Laura was telling me about this contest that they put on the Facebook page.
So I posted this contest on our Facebook page, and it's basically like you win a free dinner on the day before Valentine's Day of like a 4-course menu with a champagne toast, like specialty seating, like a really nice date, like a really romantic date. We were giving away for free, and the contest was comment below the story of how you met your sweetheart. And we got some really interesting stories, and people are posting like these really long, like sentimental, heartfelt stories of how they met their significant other. And this one woman just comments so savage, "He was the best man at my first wedding."
That's so hilarious. Oh my God.
And I realized in that moment that I know what I want to be when I grow up.
Oh
that
woman. Alright, so we got some garlic. And how many artichoke hearts do you think I should use? Wow, this is so weak. Okay.
Okay, you open it?
I got it.
I think 1 or 2.
Well, I'm just gonna cut up a whole bunch and tell me when. So you really only need that much spinach?
You don't want to use a lot, especially since these are like bigger leaves than what we have.
Okay, so now we're gonna move into the kitchen and we're gonna start making the cheese for the fondue. And we're back, and Laura's gonna show us how to assemble the fondue.
Okay, so since the pot is boiling, we're gonna start with our base. Base is always liquid, and we are using a vegetable broth base. So I'm gonna add a pinch of garlic and then the artichoke hearts. So now I'm gonna add the spinach. Okay, so now that we have all those in there, we're gonna start adding the cheese. So when you're adding the cheese, you usually do about 6 ounces for a cheese for 2. And as you're adding it, you wanna add it in thirds and then whisk it so that it melts better. That way, it melts faster. Also, as you're mixing the cheese, you wanna keep in mind to do like a whipping motion, like as if you were scrambling eggs, because it gives a little bit more air to the cheese. Add a little bit more. And that's the kind of consistency you want. You're going to want to add a little bit of Parmesan. I'd say just a shake or 2. Then you want to whip that in. And then finally, what I'm sure is your favorite part and definitely mine, a little bit of hot sauce. And I don't think we mentioned this, but the cheese we were using was a 6-cheese Italian blend. So it is provolone, mozzarella, Asiago, Romana, Fontina.
That smells delicious. And we're back, and the cheese is finished, and it smells delicious. And it's time to eat. So I'm gonna have one of these apples over here that Laura so kindly cut. Now, as you're eating, you're gonna want to be careful, because around the edges of the pot, the cheese is going to be hotter, so you don't want to burn your tongue. Very true. Okay, so this is another episode of Eat This. Thank you guys for watching on PTV. And I just wanted to say thank you to Dining Services for getting us the ingredients for the show. It's super awesome. And see you guys soon.